Hello students, you are welcome to another session of Curriculum Studies in Mathematics Education. We are still on the third unit and this is the fifth session, and in this session we shall be looking at values of teaching mathematics. Let's look at the session objectives. By the end of this session, you should be able to identify and explain values of teaching SHS mathematics. In our previous session, we looked at the SHS elective mathematics syllabus, and we looked at the general objectives in relation to the years and sessions. The particular values we want to transmit are captured in the objectives and aims of mathematics. So it's not only about transmitting the content to the students. As we teach mathematics, we also transmit what we call values, and all these things are captured in the objectives and aims of the mathematics syllabus. And as we teach, we should always be informed by these values or as captured in objectives and aims of the mathematics syllabus. The values of teaching mathematics have been discussed by different people under different headings. As we look at the definition of curriculum and syllabus, we look at the various definitions from different or so many experts in the field. When it comes to values of teaching mathematics, this particular topic has also been discussed by a lot of people in the field of mathematics education. This session discusses values of mathematics under 4 subheadings as suggested by Mimic. So as I said earlier on, this particular topic has been discussed by so many people, but in this session we shall concentrate on the discussion by Mimic. So let's look at classifications of values in general. Values in mathematics can be described as the worth derived from studying mathematics. So the benefit or the worth derived from studying mathematics is what we call the values of mathematics or values in mathematics. Blackhurst classifies curriculum values under 3 subheadings: attitudes, concepts, and information. We shan't be talking about this, but in general, as we said, so many people talked about this particular topic, and Blackhurst classifies values under 3: attitudes, concepts, and information. In the same vein, Scullin presents the values as attitudes, concepts, abilities, and information. So just like Blackhurst, Scullin also classifies his into 3. As I said, in this session we shall be looking at Mimic's classification of values in mathematics, and he classifies the values into 4 or under 4 subheadings, and they are practical values, preparatory values, disciplinary values, and cultural values. So these are the subheadings under which Mimic classified his values or values in mathematics. We shall be looking at them one by one. We shall take them one after the other and look at what we mean by practical values, preparatory values, disciplinary values, and cultural values. So let's look at what Mimic talked about practical values. According to him, the practical or utilitarian aim refers to immediate or direct usefulness of mathematics in life. So the first one is the direct usefulness of mathematics in life, which you refer to as practical values. Immediate or utilitarian values means that there are certain aspects of mathematics which are indispensable for the individual. So in this particular description of values, is saying that there are some values in mathematics that are indispensable and the individual needs it to immediately, or is very useful for his or her life in mathematics. So the knowledge should enable the pupil to solve problems that he or she actually meets in life. So these particular values are applicable or are useful in the immediate life of the individual, and the knowledge of which the individual should be able to solve problems that comes on his or her way. Some of the content and the practical values include measurement, the 4 basic operations, the addition, subtraction. They use this every day in the market, in the kitchen, in school, when buying something, when selling, percentages, profit and loss in the marketplace, in doing business in general. And some even help their parents who are traders using all this in areas, mensuration. All these things are practical values, or practical values are derived from these content areas. In broader sense, these also include topics that are useful in the study of other subjects and vocations. So when you look at the practical values in broad sense, it also encompasses topics that are useful in the study of other topics or vocations. For example, elective mathematics topics, as we said, are useful in doing further mathematics at the tertiary level or other institutions of higher education. Let's look at preparatory values. What does it mean by preparatory values? The preparatory value is of 2 kinds according to MEMIC. The first one, the part of mathematics in preparing the child for future life, and then the part of mathematics in preparing the child for future education. So as we said, some of the students may terminate their education at the SHS level, or the education there may terminate, and they will now go into future life and they have to apply some mathematics. So the aspect of mathematics that prepares them for future life, and then the part that prepares them for future education, those of the students at the SHS level who will continue their education, and so these values will prepare them for future education. First part can be linked to practical values, students who terminate their education at the SHS level, as I said. The second part for those students who may further their education at the tertiary level, and in this case we said elective mathematics is for those type of students. So this value, the value that students get from content areas that prepare them for either future life or for future education, constitutes what we call the preparatory values. The third one, disciplinary values, and according to MEMIC, this takes into account the question of transfer of training. It involves the ability to generalize meanings, symbols, relations, and processes, and to apply such generalizations to new situations. So it's just like transfer of knowledge and the values that are gotten from that. This is clearly what is meant by the expression functional mathematics. So the mathematics, or the part of mathematics that makes you function in society, is what we call the disciplinary values. And a disciplined person is one who governs behavior by certain principles that he or she has accepted as proper to live by. So the values that one gets, which governs his or her behavior by certain principles, and he or she has accepted them as values, and it makes them transfer their training to solve new situations or to solve problems that arise in new situations. Then they are applying what we call the disciplinary values. The last one is cultural values. This involves the formation of desirable attitudes and ideals. So the mathematical topics that can develop in a learner the habits of tolerance, appreciation, sympathy, cooperation, accuracy, and logical reasoning are the aspects of mathematics that cultural values can be derived from. So all these things, tolerance, appreciation, sympathy, all these things are cultural values, and we can get this from some content areas in mathematics. Cultural advancement owes a great deal to the discovery of certain mathematical facts. So if you look at the history of mathematics, you can deduce that cultural advancement owes a great deal to that. And we have seen how numbers, for instance, are developed, where numbers started from, how it started from counting numbers, and then in that order. So all these things there's some cultural aspects of it. So what we are saying here is that mathematics has played a major role in our cultural advancement, like the way our culture has grown from ancient times up to date. Mathematics has played a great role in that development. Therefore, so far as society exists, mathematics will continue to play a role in our advancement. And some specific cultural aims in the syllabus include the following. I'm going to give you 3 of them. You can refer to the syllabus. And to teach appreciation of beauty in geometrical forms found in nature, art, and industry. That's one of them. To teach appreciation of logical structure, precision of statement and thought, and logical reasoning. And then to teach appreciation of the power of mathematics, the part it has played in the development of civilization, and in particular that of science. So these are some specific cultural aims that the syllabus proposes, or that we need to teach for our students to appreciate or have those cultural values in the study of mathematics. We have come to the end of this session, and as usual, I'll leave you with these 3 questions. Try your hands on them.